on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. The Sports Cast. Expect the unexpected.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by The Sports Cast.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk with Victor Arocho and Byron Jones. And here's your host, Victor Arocho.
From Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania, welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by the Sports Cast. It's September 5th, 2024, NFL Kickoff night. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all our channels, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Apple Podcast. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. We're also on online radio. You can visit our website, thesportscast.net. Also, follow us on X and Instagram at the Sportscast1, and check out our app, the Sportscast, for the iOS. This is Santiago Leon. I'm in for Victor Arocho, who is on assignment. We got the co-host, Byron Jones. Welcome back.
Hello, how you doing? How's everybody?
How's the weather over there? Is it raining like in Kansas City right now?
No, it's nice. It's nice right here. Just left my little guys with the football stuff. Perfect record, weather for football. So everything's all good. 80 degrees is perfect right now.
And we got Alex Quirk from Maine, Northeast, New England. What's going on over there?
We're getting a little bit of taste of fall in the morning, but it's still in the 70s every day, and I absolutely love it. Not looking forward to getting colder and darker, but with that being said, football being back, I'm tolerating it.
John Roddenberg is back from Rhode Island. Talk to us, John.
Delaware, but that's all right.
Oh, Delaware.
Yeah. It's okay. Byron and I are like 20 minutes from each other, 20 miles from each other, so I'm in the same weather he's having. It's beautiful. It is beautiful.
It is something here in Florida. It's raining a little bit. September is a little bit of hurricane season. But we'll get accustomed to it. There is a kickoff delay in Kansas City for the kickoff between the Ravens and the Chiefs. But before we get into the news, we got a word from our sponsors. Are you ready to accelerate your wealth and secure your family's legacy? Introducing VictorArocho.com, your cash acceleration insurance expert. At VictorArocho.com, we bring accountability to wealth creation inspired by Proverbs 13:22. Your family's financial future matters to us. Experience the power of debt-free life, our innovative insurance solution that not only protects but builds cash value over time. As your cash value grows, say goodbye to debt incrementally and watch your savings soar for a worry-free retirement, all without spending any extra money. With debt-free life, you're not just securing your future, you are creating a lasting legacy for your family, achieving financial freedom and retiring with tax-favored income. Visit VictorArocho.com for more information. That's VictorArocho.com, where accountability meets prosperity. Your greatest asset is you. VictorArocho.com, inspired by John Roddenberg.
Yeah.
That was the most memorable episode I ever thought from the Jersey Boys. And Victor loved it when you brought it up.
I was just trying to give him a plug, and he thought I was making fun of him. I'm like, dude, I'm giving you a plug for crying out loud.
He's like, yep, that's right, VictorArocho.com. Anyways, go ahead, Byron.
I done lost my train of thought right now.
Sorry about that.
Victor will be back next week. He'll definitely be giving some pointers from VictorArocho.com. But let's go. The season starts tonight. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Ravens. Alex, how you feeling about tonight? I mean, was this like, were you feeling Christmas this morning?
I think for me personally, as a college football fan, that was last weekend. But if anything, that was also that was Christmas Eve, and I guess you're right. Today is now Christmas. It felt nice. It just the winds have changed. It is fall now, and I don't know. It's a very intriguing game. It's one of those. I just thought the Chiefs would easily win this game, but I don't know. I'm kind of doubting myself. I think this is gonna be a competitive game tonight.
John, Ravens versus Kansas City. You're not too
I
far
will
from
never.
Baltimore.
I will never cheer for Kansas City. I'm sorry, my DNA will not allow it. But the only team I cheer for out of Baltimore is the O's. So I'm neutral. I'm totally neutral in this game. But being a neutral party, I got to give a little bit of the edge to the Ravens simply because I think they've had this game circled ever since the schedule came out because this is where they want to make a statement in Kansas City. So let's see what Lamar got.
Mr. Jones, what do you think about tonight's matchup? Will Justin Tucker score the winning field goal?
No. Kansas City going away. They're playing at home. Are they going to pull up the little flag from winning another championship today? And the Kansas City Chiefs, they don't lose at home for some reason, but all those crazy fans they have, cheering them on. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs tonight.
Did you just say creepy fans?
Did I? I probably did.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page again, Byron. It's been a while. So
stats about this game are the defending champion. Since they've rolled out this Super Bowl champion opens up the season, the champs are 14-4. However, they have lost their last two, which includes, you say they never lose at home. They lost last year to Detroit on this very night.
That is true.
For opening kickoff.
Yes, for opening kickoff. It was I remember it like it was it was probably 12 when the Patriots were the first one to do it, and no one lost for a decade. The defending champs almost always win on Thursday night, but the last two have lost. It's a weird trend.
So you're saying the Ravens are going to win tonight?
The statistic historically says no, but recent trends say yes. So
I'm saying yes.
You're saying yes.
I think the Chiefs win, if you ask me.
Who do you think will win, Byron?
Kansas City Chiefs going away at home.
John?
That new.
I already said. I'm once again. I think the Ravens. And once again, no dog in this fight. Don't really care one way or the other. But I think the Ravens are. I'll give the Ravens the edge. I think Justin Tucker will kick that field goal to win it.
He was practicing some long range right before the game, by the way.
Yeah. And he can kick in the rain, where the guy from Kansas City struggles a little bit in weather. So.
What do you mean?
He should be able to kick there.
I'm just saying, the climate here, as opposed to the climate out there, we get a lot more rain here. So Tucker's used to kicking in wet weather. So Kansas City are in the plains. You're lucky if you get rain in there. This is a miraculous thing for them. They're getting rain. Woohoo! They can get snow, yeah, but rain is a different creature.
What do you think, Alex?
In regards to the weather, I definitely think that in many cases, that's where I was saying that I just thought there's no way this is going to be a close game because, just the way the Ravens kind of soiled themselves in the AFC Championship game, which that's why I didn't realize until a day or so ago. This is a rematch of the AFC Championship. But, no, I think the Ravens certainly will be a good challenge. I think they keep it close. I just think ultimately Kansas City somehow figures it out.
Kansas City Chiefs are predicted to win 3 in a row, but no NFL team, guys, in league history has ever won 3 consecutive Super Bowls. The closest was in 2005, the Patriots, who failed. Well, actually, for 6. And then the Broncos failed. John, remember, they won 2 in a row, but could not win that 3-peat. It's because Elway retired. So
Elway retired, yeah.
There's no way. And then the Cowboys didn't win 3 in a row. They won 2 in a row, right, Byron?
Yep.
And then San Francisco in the 90s, Steelers in 1980,
Yeah, the Steelers. That was the thing where they won, I think, 4 in like the 70s, but it was like 2 at the beginning, or 2 in the middle of the 70s, and 2 at the end.
Like 4 over 6 years.
Yeah.
And then Miami won 2 in a row, 73, 74, but could not win that third year. And then you guys remember the 1968 Packers? They tried to, but they did not work
I
out.
don't remember that. I know I'm old, but I don't. Okay.
I do.
Did they at least make it to the NFL championship against the Colts?
What was that, Byron?
I remember that back then.
Wasn't that game that Alex is talking about? Wasn't that that was I think the first NFL game in color, the Colts and the Packers in '68. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I am wrong. Never mind.
I don't know my NFL TV history that well, other than I'm told the yellow line wasn't a thing until the 90s.
Yeah, because the thing about the AFL when they started in 1960 was always on color. They're the first to broadcast in all color, so never mind. I was wrong on that. That would have been like 58, which, once again, I was not there for. Byron?
Wasn't there.
Okay.
Not that one.
Byron was not there.
No.
Maybe Victor was. We'll ask him next week. Well, there you have it. Can the Chiefs win a 3-peat this year, guys?
Honestly, I don't see why they can't. I mean, ultimately, I feel like it's going to be them that's going to be their own enemy in that regard. I mean, there is a lot of great competition out there. I'm not saying it's like the NFL is that weak. It just seems that no matter how big of a challenger they seem to face, they always manage to escape it, regardless, whether it's been Buffalo, Baltimore, not as much Cincinnati in the middle. They're the reason they haven't already 3-peated. No, I mean, I could see it happening.
John?
History says no. I always go with history.
Mr. Byron?
Same thing. I don't see them. They're gonna have a good year, but I don't think they're gonna 3-peat. It's just too many other teams out there that could sneak up on them.
Who are those teams?
Next is right behind them. What do you mean?
The one that's playing tonight, Baltimore, Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow. Don't forget about him. San Francisco, Trent Williams came back. So you got San Francisco, they righted the ship. I'm going to kill myself for saying it maybe. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
Team, so, yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
I'm not putting them on fraud watch this year.
Will they have Saquon Barkley run the ball a lot?
Oh, you hurt me saying that.
Wow. Really, Santiago? That's mean to do to Byron.
That's mean. That was mean.
Because Hurts doesn't throw the ball or hands the ball to running backs.
No. I actually see him being more of a receiving running back now than he was, say, in New York. I mean, he was good out of the backfield catching the ball, but his real strength is running the ball. Just give him the ball and let him run. I think Philly has a way of getting these players, and they'd be good at the beginning of the season, but once again, people figure it out. So, and I don't want to see it. Go ahead, Byron.
The problem is that you got Kellen Moore as offensive coordinator. So when Kellen Moore was offensive coordinator with the Dallas Cowboys, what did he do? He wanted to throw the ball 40, 50 times. That's how he got pushed out of Dallas. Then I think he went to the Chargers, did the same thing. Wanted to throw the ball. So at Dallas, you figure he had Ezekiel Elliott there. I forgot who the running back was with the Chargers. And instead of them set up the pass and run the ball, he wanted to throw the ball. So is he going to go revert back to form and start throwing the ball because he got Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Goddard, and want to throw the ball to these guys 40, 50 times? Or they're going to do the right thing and set up the pass with the run and pound the ball with Saquon?
Well, remember, Kellen Moore is the greatest coach in San Diego Chargers history. I think we all agree about that, Byron.
Or LA?
The LA Charger. He was all-time Charger, great head coach. We're talking LA, San Diego, LA. He was the greatest coach. It was a travesty what happened to him getting run out of town like that. He was, but just to kind of echo what Byron said, it's him. He's their offense coordinator now. That's not. I don't see it boding well. As far as play calling go, because Eckler was the running back you were thinking of, Byron, Aaron Eckler,
Right.
Who's no longer with the Chargers anyway.
Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler, that's it. Yeah, the kid
Chicago.
from he went to Chicago. Yeah, which is don't even get me started on that fiasco because that's going to be bad. But yeah, they didn't use him. He's another small kid, great runner, and could run between the tackles, but when Kellen Moore was there, he did not use him right. I mean, he made him a kind of a semi-household name, but he didn't live up to his potential because he wanted to draft or keep I can't even think of their quarterback's name as the star. So
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, whatever. Justin Herbert, whatever. Herbie, the love bug. I don't know.
We should have picked him over Tua.
I don't know.
That's another story.
No, me and Byron have made fun of Tua in the past because he's fragile. But I tell you what, when he's healthy, he's a lot of fun to watch. Whereas Herbie the Love Bug is, I mean, there's nothing. It's no, I'll throw the ball. He doesn't. I don't know. There's no excitement to his game. Whereas Tua is always entertaining.
Listen, Jim Harbaugh went with J.J. McCarthy. Anything is possible.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, that is true. So after this season, bye, Herbie.
Want to make a correction? Austin Eckler is playing for the Commanders, right, Byron?
That's right. That's right.
It's Khalil Herbert, I think, who's playing in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember all the moving places.
And Keenan Allen, too, I think.
Yeah, Chicago has a lot of dudes.
A lot of Chargers players there. Caleb Williams. He's lucky.
He's loaded. Got plenty of receivers.
I'm going to reserve judgment on any Chicago football team until they prove me otherwise.
I agree. I had my fantasy draft on Tuesday, and I can't select Caleb Williams. I don't know what to expect. I mean,
and I love Chicago. It's my second hometown. I really do. I was just out there last year, and I love the city. I've always been the Bears have always been one of my second, third tier teams, but they're terrible. I mean, is Elway picking their draft picks? I don't know. It's just Justin Fields and Caleb Williams. Hey, he may be the truth. I don't know, but I just don't see it.
They say he might be the next C.J. Stroud.
Whoa! That's a little.
That's too much.
All I will say is for Caleb Williams, I don't see many number one picks going into, on paper, a very good situation like he is in Chicago. Chicago withstanding, you take the Bears uniform out of it, it's a very loaded roster for him to work with as a rookie. So, I mean, I'm not going to say that means he's going to translate to massive success, but I mean, look at Bryce Young last year. What did he have? An aging Adam Thielen, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then what about
Go ahead.
the fact that he's never played in cold weather like that, Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
Either Oklahoma or USC. The weather, that's a different beast up in Chicago.
You get to the end of this month, it's going to start getting in the 40s and 30s. So it gets cold quick with that September, October.
Doesn't get better.
Yeah.
All right. Let's switch gears to the New York Giants, NFC East. Byron, what's the latest? I've been hearing stuff about Torrey Jackson. He is returned to the Giants for the first time since last season. He spent more than 5 months as a free agent before re-signing a one-year contract this past week. Your thoughts over that?
He was adequate because when he first was with them for the 3 years, he was the number one corner when he was there. And the only problem, I like him now. He's going to be the number two because Deonte Banks is going to be the guy now. they got him on the cheap, because he went out to free agency and to see if whatever his worth is. But as long as they don't have him back there returning punts, because I think he got hurt the last time he was back there trying to return punts, for the Giants. So, and they were talking about that too, possibly, where he would be, part of the special teams that return punts. So, if you use him as strictly as a corner, he's going to be fine. You put him back there to return punts, something's going to happen because it always does with him. So, good signing, bad idea to put him in punt return.
Alex, your thoughts? You're our resident Giant guest.
I mean, I would say in the sense that, they're seeing something in him that I think would be good. I would agree. I don't have really any take on his special team talents, but in regards to just the bolstering the defense, I can't go wrong with me on that.
There you have it. What do you guys think about that new kickoff rules that we saw this past preseason? You guys like it, or you want to see the real action in the regular season?
I'm curious to see through a full week, but I don't hate it.
It's very XFL-ish.
Just start the game at the 25-yard line. I mean, not a fan.
Mr. Jones?
It's all right. It kind of looks like with the youth football, where, you got all the kids, you got to move them up, like 900 feet and hope the kid kicks the ball 10 yards. And it just looks weird, them doing what they're doing. But, if it's going to improve the game, whatever, I'm still not a fan of it. But, it is what it is.
Back to the New York Giants. So play calling. Alex, who is doing the play calling now for the Giants?
Well, according to a press conference from earlier this week, Dable has announced that he's taking over play calling duties, which if I've ever understood other coaches who are currently in the hot seat, that is not a great sign for where Dable's prospects are when you're taking over the play calling duties before the season even started. I understand Kafka kind of came over from last year, but that doesn't seem like a good – things are going great in New York.
Wait. Mr. Jones, what do you think about a head coach doing all the play calling?
Well, this head coach in particular, he's trying to save his job. You figure if you're going to go down with the ship, you might as well be the captain at the wheel. And if you're going to go another one, if you're going to go up in a blaze of glory, hey, I'm going to call what I want to call, and if Daniel is his job to execute, the receiver job catch the ball, the lineman. So. It is. He's trying to save his job. If they flop, guess what? Next, bottom line.
Better to be the captain than hanging off the door, waiting for the other ship to come. So.
Yep.
Do you think also Coach Shane is also on the hot seat this season?
Not yet, but once Dable gets canned, if Dable gets canned, it kind of falls on him at that point. Like he'll have to hit a home run with the next head coaching hire, or he's also going to be soon out of a job.
What do you think, Byron?
I brought this up last week, and I'm gonna do it again. Over the last 10 years, the Giants have won 60 games. There's 60, 101, and one tie. Over the last 10 years, 60 games. That was Reese was the general manager, Gettleman, and now Shane. Okay, so you got rid of the two of them and a bunch of coaches in between. So is it at the top the problem, the ownership, or does it fall on the general manager? If they flop this year, Dable's gone, and are you willing to give Shane another shot, because that was supposed to be his guy from Buffalo? So you're going to give him another shot to fix
that was his hire.
Yeah, that was his guy. He brought him from Buffalo.
John, from the outside in, how do you see the Giants organization? Is it the GM? Is it the ownership? Is it the coach?
It's been a mess for a while.
Long time.
I was, once again, like the Giants, I was hoping that Dable would have been the change, but and he can't. I mean, I understand wanting to save his job and everything, but there's a lot of things he can't do that falls on not only general manager but ownership, Trust me, I know that as a Broncos fan. I don't know what else he can do to try to save his job. I think it's more or less the general manager, the guy that makes the decisions above him, that's really going to be the one responsible for it. So Dable may lose his job, and if the GM doesn't go, then there's something wrong in Maryland. See what I did there? Maryland.
Honestly, I just don't understand what happened that first year that they captured lightning in the bottle, and then last year just to completely unravel. I know part of it was Daniel Jones got injured, but he was not playing great before that game.
Yeah, that first season was good for Coach.
For all the group. That's why they came in and it was just like, all right, it's been flailing mediocrity since 2012 with that 1 year in 2016, and then they don't win the division, but they not only make the playoffs but win a playoff game.
Yeah.
Okay, we got something here. And I remember being on this show last summer being incredibly excited, thinking, all right, that was just kind of the beginning of this new era, and then they just lay an egg against the Cowboys on Sunday night and just never looked back in a good way.
Which that game, that playoff game, they beat Minnesota, and they play Minnesota this weekend.
They sure do.
In New York, not in Minnesota this time. With no Kirk Cousins.
Because our goal is to somehow get more Vikings players injured than there already are on that MetLife turf.
Yeah, might as well bring them there. Trip over the line.
Let's see what Aaron Rodgers does this year. Anyway, the greatest 8 seconds in NFL history.
4 snaps.
And I was telling Byron, they showed the guy flipping off in the stadium that Monday night game. I know that guy. I know that guy. Had a meeting with him today, actually. I'll leave it at that.
Mr. Jones, anything else from the New York Giants front? Any cuts? Any re-signings? Anything you've heard this past week?
They let go of our special team ace today, Carter Coughlin. They let him go. He was a pretty good special teams guy. That was the latest one. Besides that, it's full go live Sunday at 1:00
against Minnesota. What have you heard, Alex? Anything else from the New York Giants end?
I haven't seen much buzz other than just, I said, I think it's just one of those, I'm just mentally preparing myself for this year, and I don't know which way that's going to go. I'm just preparing for the worst, hoping for the best.
What is your guys' predictions of the Giants? How many wins?
I might have been generous when I was looking at the schedule, and it's probably going to be really bad, but I said 7 wins. I said they're going 7-10, I think.
Oh, wow.
I'm going
to be looking at the fact that we're a top 3 pick in next year's draft, but I think it's one of those things that in many Giants cases, with the exception of I think 17, they always end up winning 5-6 games somehow. I think the defense will keep them in a few games. It's the offense, I think that's the question mark. But 7-10, that's my prediction.
Mr. Jones?
I'm gonna say they're gonna shock the world. 9-8.
9-8.
I'm gonna go with 9-8. They're gonna shock some people. Daniel Jones, comeback player of the year.
Okay.
So week 1 they play Minnesota, then Washington, then Cleveland, which I think that's winnable, right, Alex?
I think Cleveland is winnable, especially given
Deshaun
Deshaun Watson, assuming he'll still be the quarterback by then because they're paying him to be.
Or in prison.
And then, yeah, that could happen too. Who knows? Cowboys is a wait and see issue. Obviously, we got a CD Lamb that got extended this past week. Then Seattle, not that easy. Cincinnati, not easy. Wow, Eagles, not easy. Which we'll have Alex around this week or afterwards. We'll find
the Saquon Barkley, whatever they call it.
Homecoming?
Either preview or review. Take your pick on that.
Homecoming.
And then we got Pittsburgh. That's not going to be easy. Which Russell Wilson
I don't know
has a
about
calf
that.
issue.
That's a winnable game.
That's
That
what
is
my
a winnable
mindset
game.
was. That some of these games that they're just gonna like sneak a few of these in that like you're not expecting. Like I'm putting Seattle on one of those kind of like upset. Right now, I am. I could be completely wrong when they're 0-4, but otherwise, there's a couple of those games that like they could just sneak in a win that you're not going to expect on paper.
So you're saying this is a winnable one?
Yep.
I think that's one of those games that on paper no one thinks they have a chance. I think they do.
John?
Pittsburgh, obviously, I think it's a very winnable game. They don't.
Who'll be
Pittsburgh,
quarterback then?
I don't know. It'll probably be Justin Fields by then.
It's still Fields, right?
Yeah, but let me. Pitts. This is going to be Mike Tomlin's last year.
Wow.
Oh.
Bold prediction.
Retire or fire?
He's gonna retire before he gets fired.
I see.
They'll never fire.
They'll never fire him, so he's going to retire because this will be his first losing season.
Mutually part ways. That's what they will say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the Belichick and Patriots way.
Yep.
Me and my Canadian girlfriend have decided it's best for us to part ways, and we'll be taking no questions at this time.
Hey, she broke up with me first, dude. So
Okay, so this is winnable. Commanders, I think that's winnable, but obviously we got to see how the new quarterback does with Halen. Panthers winnable.
Come on,
Buccaneers winnable.
Yes.
Yeah. 9-8. Looking at this, 9-8. 9-8.
Cowboys, we're not sure.
No,
I'm
not that drinking that much of the Kool-Aid.
Saints, Colts, Falcons.
I told you it's water, man.
Wow, so this part of the season is a little easier. Is that the Eagles?
Well, hey, the Eagles will have probably clinched everything by then, so they could be resting starters.
So this could be a pivotal playoff. Try to squeeze in the playoffs, maybe potentially.
Yeah.
9-8. Calling it 9-8.
I'm not going to be like super optimistic like last year, thinking we could have a winning record, but also I think there's some chances on some of those games where there's no way the Giants are losing to or beating the Steelers. I'm like, you never know. Any given, in the case of the Steelers, Monday, but any given week, anything can happen.
Yep.
Who do you think will be the quarterback then, Alex, for the Steelers?
I still think it's going to be Justin Fields. I feel like Russell Wilson will be like if it comes to that, it'll be like a November desperation move to potentially salvage the season.
And Hiron doesn't think so. You think Russell Wilson?
No, I'm changing my mind now. Justin Fields is going to be the quarterback by the end of the year. I'm changing it up.
Yeah.
Change it up.
By week 4.
There you go.
Whenever their first bye, whenever they have a bye, after that bye week,
Okay.
Going to be the guy.
Yeah.
When is that bye week? Is it in
For Pittsburgh? I don't know.
No, I mean for you guys.
I don't know. Somewhere in there.
No, I have a junk.
October, September-ish?
Like week 9, I think. I'll get them too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to look for that
week
big
11.
gap.
Probably
Week
between
11 got it.
Okay.
Apparently, I was close.
Here.
The Steelers are week 9. According to my George Pickens, who's sitting on my bench.
All right. Well, there's the Giants' schedule for this season. Just to refresh you guys, what I see towards the end of the season, a little bit more easier, flexible. There's some games in the middle, but there's I think week 3 to 6 looks pretty difficult. So
yeah, it's a bit of a gauntlet, right in the middle there.
That's
Comeback player of the year.
That's where
Danny Dimes.
Comeback player of the year. Let my guy be.
Believe it, and it will happen, as Michael Strahan once said.
Positive thinking.
Malik Habers, rookie wide receiver. How much of an impact will he have this season?
I weirdly, and this sounds silly to say, I almost just feel like we're doing deja vu with Odell Beckham, which for a few years was great. I don't think he necessarily has the athletic ability or talent as Odell, but Odell was in his early years was one of one in terms of just what he pulled off. But I think Neighbors will be something special to watch.
Mr. Jones?
I just hope they don't, throw the ball to him like 9,000 times to get the kid hurt. Because
Exactly.
they got to throw it to him so many times because you figure if he's that good, they're going to double. They're going to double team. They're going to move coverage toward him. And I guess, Daniel Jones at this point in his career is like, you know what? I got a receiver that can catch the ball, this kid. I'm going to just chuck it up there and see what he can do. So it's going to be a lot of, I think it's going to be a lot of that this year.
I think
he's going to just throw it up.
I think you expanded that a little too long, Byron. Daniel Jones is going to say, I have a receiver, but and just leave it at that. But I agree. I think there's a possibility that he's going to be thrown to way too often. And without, I mean, is he going to be the number one or number two?
Number one, for sure.
Who's the number two? Who's the number two?
That's
probably Slayton.
Yeah.
Okay, so once again,
Hyatt.
There's no Sterling Shepard, right?
No. So once again, you have Daniel saying. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, so the other guy that's going to sneak up on you with them is going to be Wan'Dale Robinson. As far as a slot receiver, he had hurt his knee. And he came, you could see that he was picking up a little bit toward the, end of last year. But he's going to surprise a lot of people too. As far as he's probably going to be actually the number two.
Will be a surprise. All right. Well, there you have it. Latest on Giants, looking pretty positive, optimistic. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the Broncos. Patrick Surtain. We'll see what John has his opinion over that. But first, a word from our sponsors. In the rhythm of life, every tick of the clock holds a story. But how do we make every moment count? Meet Start Time, the simplest way to log, track, and optimize your time right at your fingertips. Start Time is designed for simplicity. With just a tap, begin logging any activity. And when you're done, hit stop. It's that easy. Wherever you are, Start Time knows. Our location detection feature automatically tags your logs, giving context to every second spent. Keep your day in perspective with a log tab. Every task, every moment, neatly organized and easy to review. Log, track, and optimize your time with a tap. Ready to make every moment count? Start with Start Time. Available now for iOS. Hey, shifting gears to the AFC West, the Denver Broncos and two-time Pro Bowl cornerback Patrick Surtain reached an agreement this week on a 4-year, $96 million extension that includes $75.5 million guaranteed, making him the highest paid defensive back in the NFL, in history of the NFL. John, your thoughts over this, over your Broncos owned by Walmart?
Okay. I have a problem with them spending that money and making guaranteed money based on a quarterback that we used to have. What was his name? We were just talking about him a few minutes ago. I can't remember.
Russell Wilson.
Him, yeah. Wait, Dussel Tilson? It doesn't matter. But I understand why they did it. Patrick Surtain is a name. He is, without a doubt, one of the best corners. You want to talk about a shutdown corner, he is your shutdown corner for the Broncos. I was kind of hoping that they would have been able to negotiate it a little bit less because money for that team right now is kind of sparse because they're still paying off that other quarterback, Spencer Tilbertson. Whatever his name was. But Elway's part of the problem there. So, yeah, you were the savior of Denver, but as a GM, you stayed on a little bit too long there, Mr. Number 7. But the Russell Wilson thing, we're still paying for that. I mean, he's basically getting paid league minimum by Pittsburgh. We're taking care of the rest of that money. So, but yeah, so I'm a little bit iffy about that. But I mean, hey, he's a name. They want to solidify someone as the franchise player for right now, and I understand why they did it. Bo Nix, could be the next franchise guy. I'd love to see it. I think he has the skill set. Plus, being a 6-year starter in college basically means he's a 3-year starter in the NFL. I think you need to sign a name, especially if you are the Denver Broncos, and they don't have a lot to hang on. I mean, your fans, they're going to show up regardless. I mean, they've been doing it since 1960 when they were the worst team in the AFL. The stadium was sold out all the time, and it still continued to be that way only because, it's the Broncos and their fans. Well, we're crazy. But we'll be there no matter what. So it was a good move from a marketing standpoint. We'll see if it translates into wins. Probably won't right away. They still have a lot of holes up front defensively. They moved Barrett Browning to pass rusher. Still not sure that's the best move. I love Barrett Browning, great player, but not sure that's going to be the best move. And our middle linebacker, Alex Singleton, he doesn't look like he's much bigger than me, which is kind of scary. So, but no, it was a good move, I think. 4 years, $96 million. Yeah, it's a lot, but as long as he doesn't get hurt and still plays at his level, it could be money worth it because we got really nothing else on the back end ever since Justin Simmons left. So,
I was going to say, other than like this contract and Russ Wilson, are there any bigger contracts that are still in the books for now? Kind of like where maybe this 4 year will kind of bridge a period of paying that off?
That's what I'm aware of. So
interesting. Breaking news: Kickoff just happened. The 2024 NFL season has just begun. Hiron, you talked about this offline with me. Can this open up a can of worms with defensive backs?
Well, with my co-host, since he brought it up the last 2 weeks, as far as now you have to have these kind of guys cover these receivers that are making $35 million a year, whatever they're making. So right now, Surtain has opened up the floodgates because that guy sitting in New York City over there, Sauce Gardner, is going to be next on deck as far as getting ready to get paid. So if he got $96 million, over 4 years, I hate to see what Sauce Gardner is going to get with the New York Jets and a couple of those guys. But, Jalen Ramsey too, another one that's probably going to get paid.
Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, with the Dolphins, but Sauce Gardner, yeah, because you have to have these guys to cover. These receivers that are making the top four. Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, and all these guys. All of them are getting paid. So you have to have somebody to cover them. So here it comes.
Alex, will this be the floodgates for defensive backs to get paid?
I mean, it sounds like we're about to enter that era. Like just how this past summer, it seemed like it was the tackles or linemen who were getting paid one after another. And forgive me, I don't know why I'm blanking on the guy's name out of San Francisco. I think is kind of considered the best, but he's like 6th or 7th. In
Nick Bosa? No,
offensive line.
Offensive line.
Trent Williams.
Trent Williams, yeah.
We'll get to that soon. Yeah.
It just seems that we're starting to see this with all the positions that as the money is continuing to grow, everyone's trying to lock down their guy. And I'm wondering will we, because of the quarterback bubble, God, I would have thought that thing would have burst by now, but it's been 15 years and it just keeps expanding. I mean, I know that at the end of the day, NFL contracts are kind of silly, but I'm waiting for at what point between having to pay for defensive backs and tackles and quarterbacks and potentially receivers, where is it going to stop?
Where's the ceiling, Byron?
Do they have new TV money coming? Next couple years?
Amazon Peacock, they're paying up.
There you go. That's where the money's coming from, right there. I just saw the one where you put up where Trent Williams got 3 years, $82 million.
3 years, $82.6 million. He should have plenty, right?
Yeah, for a 36-year-old tackle. He's 36.
Yep. He's old.
He's not like it's not I'm not saying that he's an old dude still playing, but he's still playing at a high level. But 3 years, $80-something million for a 36-year-old left tackle.
Yep. In the words of Victor, that's multi-generational money.
There you go.
I can't say anything because he'll take offense to it, even though I was giving him a plug.
Well, yeah, I mean, which you guys were talking about a few weeks. It's the market. That's what it's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, Tua, does he deserve $60 million? That's debatable.
Yeah.
We're still trying to debate whether Daniel Jones is worth 40 a year, let alone. And Daniel Jones, to his credit, won a playoff game.
And you have, again, I'm gonna bring it up again. You have Kirk Cousins, who has the greatest agent in the history of the NFL. Yep. The greatest. And you talk about a guy. I think he's won what? One playoff game. One.
Yep.
And he's going to have, during the course, $400 million, over that during the course of his career. His agent is fantastic to be able to do that.
Papa Paul said that he could be traded after the season or something, or go to a new team.
Trade high.
Yeah, trade.
It's got to be a team it's got to be a team that has that cap space available.
Yeah.
Giants?
Nah.
I don't know if I could handle Kirk Cousins being our quarterback. Not because I don't think he wouldn't be capable. It's just his aura is a lot to take in.
It's something about him.
Alex, I got one worse. Than that one. Dak Prescott.
Oh, this is true.
That's coming up, guys. That's gonna be a crazy number. You think?
For him? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or you think Jerry's willing to walk away?
By the way, showing in terms of how it felt like so long ago, I remember at the very beginning times of COVID when the Dak Prescott contract fight last happened. And I'm like, God. I'm like, because I heard him talking about, he's going for a new contract, isn't he on one? I'm like, oh, it's been 4 years. It's been that long since it happened.
Yeah. The funny thing about Dallas, and I'm going to actually be there in November for work, but I work with a lot of people from Dallas, and the actual Dallas fans are the ones who are very realistic. It's all the fans who are Dallas fans who have never been to Dallas, who just cheer for Dallas because they're Dallas. Those are the ones that keep saying every year, "This is our year." You go to Dallas, they're like, "Yeah, we'll take it easy. Let's, don't push it."
So I had guys I worked with up in Jersey, had season tickets to the Dallas Cowboys. Would get on a plane and fly down there, 7-8 games from Jersey. And then one guy, when I retired, he moved to Texas, to Lubbock. You know how far Lubbock is from Dallas? 4 or 5 hours. It's not close. He moved to Lubbock just so he could be rooting for the Dallas Cowboys all year round. I was like,
Eric's brother does that for Miami Dolphins too. All winners. He flies to Miami.
Makes you appreciate the weather, I guess.
Miami's a little bit different. Miami's a little bit different beast than going to Dallas.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, Miami or Dallas. Obviously, Miami, obvious choice. Let's take with the Broncos. John, Bo Nix shine in the preseason. Your thoughts? Is he the future, or let's just see what happens in the regular season?
And Byron, I've said this many, many times. I don't believe in the future until the future's here. I like Bo Nix. I think out of all the guys in the draft, he's the most pro-ready. I think Sean Payton followed the Belichick rule of you never draft a guy who's not started more than 2 seasons. So he's done that times 3. So he, out of all the players coming out, like I said, I think he is the most at the quarterback position ready to play in, and deal with the pressure, of being that guy. Now, granted, he was drafted 12th because he's not as flashy as the guys who went above him, which is fine. I still don't know why Atlanta needs. They have 3 quarterbacks now. They drafted one in the first. That made no sense to me. But I think Bo Nix, he could be the guy, but until you're at that point where you're, the guy's been there before, and I've been disappointed. Teddy Bridger, I thought he was going to be the guy until he decided to go into business for himself. Same with Russell Wilson. One thing you can say about guys like Jake Plummer, John Elway, the late great Charlie Johnson, who just passed yesterday. He was the quarterback up until 77. They were selfless players. They played the quarterback position like like they cared. They would make sacrifices. They would, after they throw an interception, they'd try to tackle the guy. Whereas, and when Bo Nix demonstrates something like that, I'm not saying that exactly, but something like that, I may change my mind. But once again, I'm in a will see pattern as far as him being the guy. But I have high hopes for him, like I do every Denver quarterback until they break my heart. So
higher hopes than Brock Osweiler?
Oh God, yes. Brent, you mean Brent Ostrenner? Brent, but I don't even remember. Brent, Rocky Stew? What? Guys, you're trying to confuse me now.
Rock the Rock.
It's like
Alex,
Trevor Simon. I guess we had as a quarterback.
That one
Gary,
game you had to use your running back because everyone got sick, or it was a close
no,
contact.
Wide receiver. It was a wide receiver. And they finally cut him last year, unfortunately. I like the kid, but yeah. That's a team play.
On Bo?
My thoughts on Bo is that I think he benefited from a great career resurgence because he was, as a freshman, a true freshman, if I'm not mistaken, at Auburn. Right. Unfortunately, for whatever reason or another, probably just being under Saban's thumb, just didn't work out for him. So I don't remember if he transferred anywhere in the middle, but ending up at
Oregon. He went to Oregon.
Yeah, well, I know he ended up at Oregon, but I don't know if, with all the transfer portal nonsense, if he had a team in between or not. I think he just went from Auburn to Oregon.
Yeah, I think so.
But no, it's one of those kind of I would say also a wait and see, because I remember one minute he was adorned the next big thing at Auburn. It didn't pan out. And then he goes to Oregon and was pretty solid. But not every college quarterback that's great translates to the NFL. So we'll see.
And Derrick Henry just scored for the Ravens. First touchdown of the season.
Damn.
That fast. Wow, that was a good play. This is going to be an interesting team to watch just from seeing that. Okay. Byron Jones, Bo Nix, you've seen him in college. He's not going to be that guy from FSU, but your thoughts?
That guy, DJ, yeah.
What a game.
The only problem I have with him, is that a lot of the passes he threw were short passes, 5 yards. A lot of that, screen stuff that they, and the receiver get the ball, big chunks of yard. That was the only part. He's very accurate, and you really need that. And he's not a gunslinger or anything, but he looked like he takes care of the ball because he didn't have that many, interceptions at all at Oregon. So it was a good choice for him to leave Auburn, where he would have never developed the way he was at Oregon at Auburn, because it's two different kind of offenses. But I think he should do well. With listening to that guy that everybody hates. So we'll see how that works out with
Zach Wilson. You mean?
Not the other coach, the head coach.
Oh yeah, Sean Payton.
Sean Patton, Parsons.
Patton.
Sean O'Malley.
Might as well be General Patton, the way he yells at people.
Bill Paxton? Is that Phil? I don't know his name.
Yeah, that's close enough.
Denver Broncos. Sean Payton is in the hot seat, right, John? Kind of?
No, not at all. No.
He's safe.
Really?
Yeah, he's safe for at least 2 more years.
All that money they paid him, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
On that contract. Yeah, that's a good point.
The reason why is that you're talking about a stripped down rebuild. Okay. We just redid our bathroom upstairs, getting everything set and everything put in place. It looks great, by the way, but it took a lot of planning to get it done. All right. We're going to do our kitchen next. Same thing. There's planning. You got to make sure everything is in the right spot. And with George Payton as your GM, you're going to run into some issues, because he's the one that said, "Oh yeah, Russell Wilson. Yeah, hey, let's sign that contract." Who was the offensive, the head coach that we had, who's now with the Jets? Nathaniel Hackjob. Was that Nate Jobberson? I don't know.
Right.
But he picked them. Okay, so if it's not Sean Payton, it's George Payton is in the hot seat.
So the question is, so what is Patrick Surtain in this home renovation analogy here?
He's definitely the new shower stall. No seams, just one piece. The plumbing is going to be that defensive line. It's all mowing, by the way, really nice. But yeah, I just got to wait on the shower mat. We're getting a nice loofah thing, and that's going to be the linebacking course. So, does that work for you, Alex?
That's perfect. I could see the vision now.
Yeah. So,
Well, that is the update on the Broncos. Now we're coming towards the end of the show. We're gonna have a prediction segment here. Who's gonna win each division? Let's start with the AFC East. Miami, the Jets, Bills, New England. Alex, who wins the AFC East?
I'm digging into my Google Drive, but I believe I picked the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills retain.
Oh, I stand corrected. I had the Miami Dolphins.
Oh,
I did it with my buddy. We did a prediction thing together one day. So, yeah, Miami Dolphins for me.
Mr. Jones, who wins the AFC East? To a new contract.
I'm flip-flopping again like I usually do. I'm picking the Jets.
New York Jets, they are favorites. John, who wins the AFC East?
I'm going. It's going to be between the Dolphins and the Bills. I think the Bills are going to start out slow because they're basically their receiving core is like new guys. But I think by the time we hit week 4, they're going to start hitting stride. So it's going between Miami and Buffalo. Aaron Rodgers is going to blow out his other Achilles tendon, and he doesn't have Zach Wilson to help him. So
the AFC North. Ravens, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Alex, who wins the AFC North?
Baltimore.
Baltimore wins it. No hesitation there.
No. Well, I have the document. I did this about 2 weeks ago with my buddy. So, like, I have this on a Google Drive for all.
So you're doing it straight from memory.
Yeah, no, not from memory. I got my phone.
Byron, who wins the North?
I'm going with Baltimore.
All right. John?
So I'm with that in Baltimore.
Baltimore Ravens. Clear as day. AFC West, Kansas City, Chargers, Raiders, and Broncos. We'll start with John on this one. I'm curious what's he going to say there.
Kansas City, but you will see the Broncos make a push for the wild card.
Oh, okay. I love it. Jones?
Kansas City Chiefs going to ride that wagon.
Alex, are you going to break the mold or are you going to say the Kansas City Chiefs?
I'm going with Taylor Swift and the Funky Bunch to win that division.
And she's there tonight at the match.
She is,
game.
yeah.
Little provocative how she walked in. Anyways, AFC South. This is going to be a tighter division this year. Jacksonville, Tennessee, Indianapolis, and Houston. Mr. Jones, who do you have?
The Houston Texans.
No hesitation. CJ Stroud?
CJ Stroud, they're ready to roll.
MVP Stroud?
In the running.
In the running. Okay. John, who do you have for the south of the AFC?
I'm just going to be a jerk and say the Colts for no reason.
They are
They showed
favorites.
promise until Anthony Richardson got hurt.
And he's back healthy. So we'll see.
Alex, Quirk from memory or from the Google Drive app?
I have the Texans, and also in terms of just chasing, not just going for the lowest odds and a responsible wager for a no free ads sports book, I did pick the Texans to not only win the division, but win the AFC. I know I said I think the Chiefs could repeat, but I don't know. I'm buying into the hype on the Texans, and I'm scared it's going to bite me.
They got Stephon Diggs, Byron.
Yes, they do. Mr. Diggs.
Bell, Nico Collins.
Diggs,
They're
loaded. They're loaded. Receivers.
There's no complaints. They should do well on paper.
That's just the concern that like this will be the team that's going to step up, and then they're going to run into the wall that is the Kansas City Chiefs. But it could be a fun ride.
Could be a fun ride. The almighty NFC East, Eagles with Barkley, Cowboys, Giants, and the Commanders. Byron Jones, we'll start with you. Who will win the East of the NFC?
Oh, my God. It's going to kill me to say it. The Eagles.
Eagles fly?
Yeah, fly.
Alex Quirk, any doubts on this? Who will win the NFC East?
Continuing the trend that, just like we talked about how no team in NFL history has repeated, no team in the NFC Beast, for that matter, has repeated as champion in over now. I think we're coming up on 20 seasons. I have the Philadelphia Eagles continuing that statistic that the Cowboys will not repeat. Philadelphia
Cowboys
Eagles
will not repeat. John Rottenberg, neutral, objective person. Who will win the NFC East?
I'm going to go, and Byron, for the last couple of years, you convinced me. Daniel Dimes and your New York Giants will win the NFC East, because I will never say anything nice about the Philadelphia Eagles ever.
Victor wishes he was here to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we still got Cutlets going as a backup?
He's a
there
third
they go,
string.
right.
He's
Third string
QB3
guy.
this year.
We need our Cutlets.
NFC North, John, who will win between the Bears, Packers, Vikings, and the Lions?
Detroit Lions. For no
Jamar
reason.
Gibbs. No reason.
Yeah. No reason.
Dan Campbell, great coach.
Dan Campbell, lucky coach
And
or
apparently
great
the
coach?
Lions, an interesting fact, 14, I believe, of their 16 games are going to be in a dome this year. Obviously, they play in a dome,
16
but just the way the
games?
schedule landed, 14 of 16 games will be inside.
Holy crap. That's home field advantage all the way.
Yeah.
So who do you have winning the North, Mr. Quirk?
I got the Green Bay Packers winning. I think they're going to continue to just trend upwards right now I think they're like with the Seahawks, where I think in the early 2010s, where under the rookie QB, they have a solid team. They completely blew out past expectations last year, and I think they continue by winning the North.
And Mr. Byron Jones, who has it? You're Detroit, or is it someone else?
I'm changing up from Detroit. I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. Detroit has Aiden Hutchinson and nobody else as far as the pass rushers. They only got one, just him.
There you have it. Let's go to the NFC West. Niners, Cardinals, Seahawks, and the Rams. Mr. Jones, who do you have for the NFC
Woo,
West?
man. I might as well get crazy. Seattle Seahawks.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Geno Smith, new coach.
I'm going with Geno and a new coach. They're
Alex
gonna
Quirk.
shock the world.
I'm supporting my beloved fellow Gamecock Debo Samuel, San Francisco 49ers.
And Brock Purdy with a new contract at the end of the season.
That's right.
$60 million a year.
Jen Roddenberg, you lived in San Francisco. Who do you have?
No, I've never lived in San Francisco.
Okay.
Never lived on the West Coast. But I will say, Arizona. No, just kidding. It's going to be the San Francisco 49ers.
Arizona.
No, San Francisco. I was
San
just joking
Francisco.
about Arizona. Just
Will
joking
Brandon
about
Ayuk
Arizona.
start? Yeah. He'll be playing, right? Brandon Ayuk this weekend?
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
They should.
Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver.
Ayuk, the receiver, yeah.
Yeah.
He got paid, Byron.
Oh, yes, he did. He needs to see Victor for investment opportunity.
VictorRocho.com.
Not saying a word. Once again, not saying a word.
Right,
There
by
you
John?
go.
Is that what we're
He's here in his
VictorRocha.com.
spirit.
just looking you down straight into your eyes? Invest.
Don't look into his eyes. Whatever you do, don't look. Don't look.
Okay. Finally, the NFC South. We got Atlanta with Kirk Cousins, the Saints, Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield, Carolina with Bryce Young, Mr. John Roddenberg, who will win in that beautiful division.
No one. No, it's probably going to be Atlanta. They're the best of all the worst teams in that division.
Alex Quirk, who do you have? I know that you like Penix a lot, but who will win the South on the NFC?
I struggle with this one initially, and as much as I laugh at Atlanta for being Atlanta, I think the Falcons are winning the South this year.
No way. Byron, you've been to Atlanta. Who's going to win?
Atlanta, because they have probably a top 3 running back, Bijan Robinson. He's going to carry them to the promised land.
Wow. You got the South and the AFC West all the same, but the other divisions are different.
Make sure not to put those in graphics so that way Old Takes Exposed finds us like months from now when like none of them win the division or something like that.
I'll keep it in record. Deny.
That
Deflect.
was AI. That was not what I said.
Yep, I do it all the
Oh
time.
boy.
Well, there you have it, guys. Predictions for this year. Looking forward to the season for changes. Hopefully, a new champion, but we don't know. Any other closing words / predictions for the season? What are you guys looking forward towards this season? We'll start with John.
Well, I'm going to go to college. Hopefully, Deion Sanders can find someone to run a defense out there because they don't got one right now. Pro wise, just hey, go Broncos.
Alex Quirk.
I'm going to say, even though at times, and there, as we say, things that may or may not have pictures of me wearing his jersey. I'm curious how Tom Brady's going to do in the booth for Fox this year, as he is, I believe, the #1 color commentator for the Fox broadcast. So I'm going to be very curious how he does. He did well for the, I believe, XFL championship back in June. So I'll be very curious how he does, and if we're going to when what's his face when Romo first started, if we're going to get that not that I'm going to say it's but that kind of everyone was very high on him for how good he is. If he is, he may be terrible. We don't know.
Looking forward to
listen in this case.
Are you looking forward to Belichick and the Manning cast on Monday nights?
Absolutely. I mean, if there's one thing I've known about Bill Belichick, at least just from what I've seen in non-Patriot press conferences, is he loves just talking football. Just the game. So I'll be very curious to see how he does in a more relaxed environment. I mean, Saban did great in game day, so I expect nothing less with Belichick on the Manning cast.
We'll see if he brings his 24-year-old girlfriend on the set.
They were helping with homework with each other.
He's the opposite of Zach Wilson, you're saying then, right?
That's true. Babyface Zach Wilson. Mr. Jones, what are you looking forward to this season? Any optimism?
I'm going back to what John said about college to Colorado. I want to see if Travis Hunter can do what he's doing. I want to see if he can do it the whole year and maybe even win the Heisman because of what he's doing. Playing both sides of the ball like that. You don't see that too often at a high level.
He's an impressive talent. The kid is,
And will Coach Prime coach the Cowboys? And will Coach Prime coach the Cowboys in the future?
No.
If he goes 11-1 at college, I'm not saying at Colorado, just in college, someone will come knocking.
No, he's going to be at CU for a while.
Oh yeah, totally. When Shador and Travis Hunter are all, and Shiloh, I forget the third one there. I know Travis Hunter isn't his kid; he's his adoptive son there. But
well, what you're going to see happen is that the thing about Deion is that these kids coming through now are the kids of people my age that watch. My kid has a chance to play for Deion Sanders. Oh yeah, you're going to go play for Deion Sanders. You're going to get in the portal. So. We'll see if that ever wears out. But Deion saw us to prove he can put a second half of the season together too. So,
Coach Prime. Well, there you have it. The future is down the line. We'll see what happens with him. Colorado, Dallas Cowboys, the Broncos, New York Giants, all these great teams. What's going to happen? Anyways, before we go, I know you guys are not on social media, but Alex Quirk is still on social media. What is the best way to reach you online to ask, hey, Alex, what should I eat this weekend when the football comes back?
Hey, on a solid heater of being very responsible with my finances. So, never know. I already got Xavier Worthy and Derrick Henry tonight. So, doing great so far.
Awesome. And what's the best way to reach you online?
A Quirko, Twitter, Instagram, I think are my primary two that I use.
There you have it, Alex Quirko. You can reach me at SLeon on X and also Instagram. You can reach the Sportscast at thesportscast.net or the Sportscast1 on X. We'll be live tweeting throughout the weekend. Looking forward to it. And John, you haven't joined social media yet, right?
No, I'm there. I'm just quiet.
He's just sleuthing. That's all.
He's observing.
No, I'm not, and Byron will tell you I'm not that active. We're about the same level of active, which is,
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of funny. Let me throw that up.
That's it.
Well, anyways, you can watch and listen to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk every Thursday. At what time, Mr. Jones?
Don't.
8 o'clock.
8 p.m. That means 8 p.m.
8 o'clock. That's the Perth Amboy education. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. There you go.
Somewhere in the Atlantic, it's 10 p.m. Eastern or whatever Atlantic Standard Time, whichever one it is out there in the ocean.
That's Mr. Brian James for you. I mean, I'm having a hard time with his name too tonight.
Well, good time with you guys. Mr. Jones, close us out.
Welcome again. Goodbye. Everybody have a good and safe weekend.
There have
Peace
it.
out.
Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Enjoy NFL Kickoff 2024-25 season.
Take care, guys.
On digital radio, on the app, on your smart